told me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best because I am. It's no need in keeping it low-key. I can carve up the D like a turkey or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making...
Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Nightfall in Minneapolis in December usually spells freezing temps, and that is precisely the case outside these walls. But we are a comfortable 72 degrees inside U.S. Bank Stadium. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, they're in a real groove of late. Winners of 5 of their last 6 games.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by their quarterback, the guy out of California, the former Cal Bear, Jared Goff.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
This is Joe Mixon, 4th in the NFL in rushing last season. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up 2nd down. The numbers for Mixon last week, 14 carries, 64 yards.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and a coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that. But they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. Mixon with a first down carry. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
From the gun on 3rd down, Goff. And this is caught by Watkins. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
Face mask. Defense.
Charles, I know it's hard when live bullets are flying, but you cannot keep your hand up around the face mask area.
It is absolutely inexcusable nowadays. We talk about target areas all the time. You have to aim lower so that your hand doesn't get involved in the face mask.
Now Goff. Ebron caught left side. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll be a 2nd down. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
An offensive line play is not something that comes to mind readily, but it's always a big key in a ball game. And already these guys, they're getting it done up front, as we've seen this rushing attack have some early success.
On 2nd down, Mixon. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line.
Face mask. Defense.
Got the hand caught up in the grill of the face mask. 15-yard penalty.
So tough for a defender. You're trying so hard to make a play, and the way that these offensive guys can move around, sometimes your hand gets into the wrong place.
After the penalty, it's Mixon. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Let's take a look now at how Green Bay will line up defensively. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
One thing players always tell us is that they never really pay attention to numbers. I don't believe them for a second. They know where they rank, okay? They're not quite at the top, but they're far from the bottom. But let's face it, they want to move up. In order to do that, they've got to look at each other and make sure everyone's taking care of their assignments in order to play the run better.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal.
You got nothing.
Goff now to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
That's right. Get off the train tracks, baby. Get off the train tracks.
When you're this close to the goal line, you've got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
Can this defense get the stop on the opening drive? Here's 3rd and goal. Out of the gun. Goff. He finds his running back, Mixon. Certainly not what they wanted there. No gain, and it's 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
That was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
There are the numbers for Samuel from that game last week. 6 catches, 75 yards, and a touchdown.
And he now has 8 touchdowns on the season, and I just know this. He's going to be so eager to run routes in this one and try and get to the end zone at least 2 more times. 10 is a key number. Really signifies that you've had a big year.
He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. They'll run it here with Logan. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage to the 35. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now the Auburn product, Corey Grant. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a first with third down looming.
That's the end of the first quarter with the score
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Look at me. Go. Check. Get it.
On third down, Mooney. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. That good for 22 and a first down.
In that situation on 3rd and inches, it's not a surprise that you're going to have big-time guys up front trying to stop things, so you've got to win the leverage game. The offensive line did that. They got lower than the guys in front of them and pushed them aside. But even they had to be surprised at what the result was. That kind of yardage on 3rd and inches.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The veteran Jerry Hughes drops the hammer in the backfield.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. They will run with Grant. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Back to throw here. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. Malik Jackson, the 6'5" D tackle with a sack. They were trying to set up that screen, trying to get that screen to formulate. Took too long.
He ends up taking a sack, and that leads you to a couple of other questions. Number one, why don't you just get rid of the football near the screen guy so that you don't take an interception? But really, the big one, they just took everything away, and he was really kind of flummoxed on that play and ended up taking the sack.
Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play calling.
They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. On first down, it's gone. Trying to get it to Ebron, and it's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception and as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And down to the 19-yard line. It's a gain of 16 and a first down for the green and gold. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Check 9.
On the carry, it's Logan. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or two short here with third down coming up. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. On fourth down, they'll try and run for it. But he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. They opt to go for it, and they get it. First and goal after a pickup of 5.
Rock it. Kill, turn up. Check,
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Watch 98 to Mike. Watch the run.
They'll look to throw on third and goal. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
But we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
Well, they're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up second and 7. On the tackle, it was the West Virginia man, Kaiser White. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime.
20. 56. Watch your slant.
On second down now, Nixon. And from the 4, they get it to the 8 on a pickup of 4. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime.
Like 20.
They'll fake the handoff. Now gone. And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The Vikings send out their punter. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
So second and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. This is Grant. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Corey Grant, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Packers have taken the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
And this is no good. He missed it. Not a good start here in the kicking department, as this remains a 6-3 score. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And now out comes Minnesota as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say, we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sport. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. This is fielded at the goal line. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace, because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
10 Lobo. Hey, Sam on.
On third down, it's Logan. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a fourth down. So they went a little cautious there on third and long.
Man, nothing wrong with that. Remember, they're playing with a lead right now. So getting a first down, yes, that would be great. But even more importantly, take care of the football. No turnovers, no big plays for the other team, and keep the clock moving.
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally, because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
And they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. From the 35 on second down, Goff. And this is caught by Watkins. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. They'll run on first down. Mixon. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 40. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. Now Joe Mixon. Shedding the tackle that gives him some room. Touchdown, Vikings. Joe Mixon, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are going to retake the lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Extra point right down the middle, and that will make this a 4-point game. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Second and 9 now. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. There defensively to break that one up, Ken Crawley.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off.
198. Hey, team 6. 198. Watch 98. 98 tonight.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. He's got his man. It's Williams. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well. This quarterback now just 2 out of 6 since coming on, but he's got a 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Out on the edge, you love to have cornerbacks like that can bring him down in the run game.
And you're also exposed to everyone. It really becomes a one-on-one play, doesn't it? You're out there by yourself on the edge. The best ones know how to make the play, and we just saw an example of it right there.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bud Dupree able to record his 5th sack of the season.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
They'll set up a throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. 3rd and long, defense with no fear. They brought the pressure.
Zero fear at all. That means they feel really good about the guys who are going to cover. But the biggest one is they think their pressure will get there before he has a chance to find an open receiver.
Taken in at the 22. Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position. And a big face mask penalty here, 15 yards.
You never want to get your hands up in the face mask area because your fingers can get tangled up there, and that can hurt you as a player.
They go play action here on 1st down. Ebron with it over the middle. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On first down, Mixon. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Leon Hall, the former Michigan man, in on the tackle. Throwing on second down. Goff looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Trailing in the fourth, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Gone. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. And it's caught. And he will score. Touchdown.